Go ahead and touch your ear right now. Just gently rub the outer edge with your fingertips. Did you notice something? A subtle warmth, a quiet sense of easing tension? That is not imagination. Within seconds of rubbing your ear, a cascade of measurable biological events begins inside your body, and the science behind it is far more remarkable than most people realize. Today I am sharing 5 specific changes that happen in your body when you rub your ears, each backed by clinical research. And by the end of this video, you will understand why this 2-minute habit might be one of the most powerful free health tools you have never been using. Here is what makes the ear so extraordinary. Most people think of ears as sound collectors, but the outer ear, the auricle, is one of the most neurologically dense surfaces on the human body. Over 200 acupuncture points and nerve reflex zones are packed into that small curved surface, connecting directly to major organ systems throughout the body. The most critical of these connections is the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in the body, running from the brainstem all the way down through the heart, lungs, stomach, and intestines, governing nearly every vital organ you have. The only branch of the vagus nerve that surfaces on the skin of the body does so inside the ear. This means that rubbing your ear is one of the most direct, non-invasive ways to activate the vagus nerve and send a simultaneous signal of calm and recovery to your entire body. With that foundation in place, here are the 5 changes that begin happening when you rub your ears regularly. The first change is that your blood pressure drops and your heart rate stabilizes. A clinical trial involving patients with elevated blood pressure found that non-invasive stimulation of the tragus, the small cartilage flap at the entrance of the ear canal, produced a statistically significant reduction in systolic blood pressure of over 10 millimeters of mercury, along with a meaningful decrease in resting heart rate. The mechanism is direct. Rubbing the ear activates the vagus nerve, which sends immediate signals to the heart to slow its rate and to the arterial walls to relax and dilate. As blood vessels widen, pressure drops naturally. Think of it as switching a congested 2-lane road into a wide-open motorway. Blood moves freely, the heart works less hard, and the whole cardiovascular system settles. If you take blood pressure medication, never discontinue it based on this or any other lifestyle practice, but incorporating ear stimulation as a daily complement to your existing care is something worth discussing with your doctor. The second change is that stress hormones fall and your mood lifts noticeably. Chronic cortisol elevation is one of the most damaging, hidden patterns in modern life. When cortisol stays high over weeks and months, it suppresses immune function, disrupts sleep, accelerates cellular aging, and increases the risk of cardiovascular disease. Research consistently shows that massage and tactile stimulation of nerve-rich areas produces a statistically significant drop in salivary cortisol, and the ear is among the most responsive sites due to its vagal nerve density. When the vagus nerve is stimulated, the sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight engine, is actively dampened. The adrenal glands receive fewer emergency signals, and cortisol output decreases. Simultaneously, the brain's reward pathways release dopamine and endorphins. Dopamine restores motivation and a sense of pleasure, while endorphins act as your body's own natural painkillers and mood elevators. This is precisely why people instinctively touch their ears when anxious or overwhelmed. It is not a nervous habit. It is your body self-administering a stress response it already knows how to execute. The third change is that pain diminishes and physical tension releases. A comprehensive meta-analysis examining auricular therapy for pain management found that ear stimulation produced statistically significant pain relief compared to both sham and control groups across multiple pain conditions, including knee pain, lower back pain, and post-surgical pain. 2 mechanisms explain this. The first is endorphin release. When ear nerve endings are stimulated, the hypothalamus and pituitary gland respond by releasing endorphins, whose analgesic potency is comparable to pharmaceutical opioids, without the side effects or dependency risks. The second mechanism is neural competition. When the brain receives a strong new sensory signal from the ear, it partially overrides incoming pain signals from other regions. Similar to how loud music reduces awareness of background noise, The earlobe, that soft lower portion of the outer ear, is particularly effective for releasing tension in the head, neck, and shoulders. Gently pinching and pulling the earlobe downward for 30 seconds. During a headache or bout of neck stiffness produces a surprisingly rapid sense of release that most people feel almost immediately. The fourth change is that sleep quality improves dramatically. A study examining auricular acupressure for insomnia in adults found that consistent stimulation of specific ear points significantly improved overall sleep quality and simultaneously reduced symptoms of depression compared to a control group. The explanation connects directly to everything already discussed. Vagal activation slows heart rate, lowers blood pressure, and regulates body temperature, which are precisely the three physiological transitions your body must complete to enter sleep successfully. Beyond that, reducing cortisol clears the way for melatonin to function properly. Melatonin, your brain's natural sleep onset hormone, is actively suppressed by high cortisol. When ear rubbing brings cortisol down, melatonin production normalizes, and your brain receives a cleaner sleep signal. Spending just 5 minutes rubbing your ears in bed before sleep, particularly around the tragus and the inner cup of the ear, consistently within the same pre-sleep routine, creates a conditioned relaxation response that grows stronger the more regularly you practice it. The fifth change is that systemic inflammation decreases and immune function strengthens. This may be the most significant long-term benefit of all. Chronic low-grade inflammation is now recognized as the underlying mechanism behind most serious modern diseases, including cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline, and autoimmune conditions. Multiple published studies on transcutaneous auricular vagus nerve stimulation have confirmed meaningful reductions in pro-inflammatory cytokines, including TNF-alpha, IL-1 beta, and IL-6, with corresponding increases in anti-inflammatory cytokines. One study specifically showed that auricular vagal stimulation significantly reduced systemic inflammatory markers in critically ill patients. The pathway involved is the cholinergic anti-inflammatory reflex, a neural immune circuit through which the brain, via the vagus nerve, directly instructs immune cells to reduce excessive inflammation. Traditional medicine across Asian cultures intuited this connection thousands of years ago. Modern neuroimmunology has now mapped it at the molecular level. Regular ear stimulation is being studied as a complementary management tool for gout, rheumatoid arthritis, and other inflammatory conditions, and early results are genuinely encouraging. Here is how to do this correctly and get the most out of every session. Warm your hands first by rubbing them together for 10 to 15 seconds. Begin with a full outer ear sweep, running your thumb and index finger along the outer rim of the ear, from the top down to the earlobe. Repeating this 3 times slowly to warm the tissue and initiate circulation. You will see the ear begin to redden slightly, which means blood is flowing in as it should. Then spend 90 seconds focusing on the tragus, with gentle circular pressure from your index fingertip. Move to the earlobe next, gently pulling it downward and releasing rhythmically for another 90 seconds. Follow with light pressure in the inner bowl of the ear, using your little fingertip for 1 minute. Finish by massaging the skin behind the ear in slow circles for 1 minute. To stimulate lymphatic drainage and improve cerebral blood flow. One important note on safety: avoid stimulating any area of the ear that has an open wound, active infection, or inflammation. People who have had ear surgery or who have severe heart conditions should consult a physician before beginning. If you experience sudden intense dizziness, or a significant worsening of tinnitus during ear stimulation, stop immediately and seek medical evaluation. These practices support health, but do not replace medical treatment for diagnosed conditions. Try this every night for 7 consecutive days. Most people notice the clearest early results in sleep quality and stress recovery, typically beginning around day 4 or 5. By day 7, the routine begins to feel as natural and necessary as washing your face. The changes your body makes in response to vagal activation are cumulative, meaning the longer and more consistently you practice, the more pronounced and lasting the benefits become. Your ears have been waiting to do this for you. All they needed was your attention. Start tonight. If this video gave you something useful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little more calm in their daily life. Drop a comment telling us which of the 5 changes you are most hoping to experience. See you in the next video.